Hi guys, my name is Brittany and I'm the owner and founder of Snoozy Mama Sleep Solutions. So many of you guys have reached out to me asking how to clean your snooze. In this video, I'm going to do a step-by-step guide on how to pull up the mesh, clean in between the mesh, spot clean, and then reassemble your snoo. Along the way, I will be offering tips and tricks and troubleshootings on how to reassemble. So the first thing you guys are going to want to do is put some gloves on. The used snoo can be very dirty, so you want to protect yourself. The first step we're going to do is we're going to grab our wedge tool. This tool helps pop open all of these clips. So what you want to do is you want to take your tool, dig it underneath, and do a twisting motion to pop them off. You're going to do this with all of the snaps. After you remove all your clips, sometimes some spit up gets caked in between. I take a bowl of very hot water, I spray my Dawn, and I let my clips soak in here while I'm cleaning the rest of the netting. The next step that we're going to do is we're going to pull up the mesh and clean in between. So how you do that is you just easily pop the mesh up. So now that you have your mesh disconnected, you can lift up and see how much dirt is on the inside of your snoo. For the vacuum, I use my handheld Ryobi vacuum with the special extension tubing so I can get into all of the crevices. These are all linked into my secondhand survival snoo guide, so you'll be able to order them off Amazon. In this next step, we're going to take our vacuum and we're going to suck up all the dust and dirt that we can get with our vacuum. You want to make sure you're getting behind the swivel. So take your hand and move the snoo so you can get underneath the base here. And do the same for this side. Swivel it so you can suck up all of the dust and dirt underneath the base. You can see now there's a bunch of dust and dirt and crumbs that are in the inner rim of the snoo. You can take your vacuum and try to get as much as you can out by just circling the rim. The next step is to collect most of the dust that you could not get with the vacuum. So I take a Swiffer duster to collect all of the loose debris that was not picked up at the vacuum. So you just take this and I do a swipe on the outer rim. So remember, you can always swivel the base to get underneath the base. The next step is we're going to take a disinfecting wipe and disinfect the inside. I use just your standard disinfecting wipe. You can use any cleaner that you guys feel comfortable with. We're now going to get all of this caked on spit up that we could not collect with the Swiffer duster or the vacuum. Remember to swivel the base so you can get underneath. The easiest way to get in here is to take the netting on the side that you're working and just roll it over so you can see the area you're trying to clean. Here you can see there is some caked on spit up. And we're just going to take our wipe and clean that off. It should come off pretty easily with your wet wipe. The snoo has 4 arches that you can also clean. These do tend to collect a bit of dust and dirt as well. So take your wet wipe and then just wipe up and down. There's 2 in the front and there's 2 in the back. As you guys can see, there's a big stain on the netting right here. This is a trouble area for the snooze since the baby spit up and then it gets all trapped. I'm going to show you guys how to soak and clean this and make it look brand new again. The first thing we want to do is protect the electronic portion of the SNOO. So we want to lay down a towel since we are going to be working with water. So apply your towel and make sure the entire area is covered. The next step is to grab your Dawn Power Wash. I use this for everything and it lifts up most stains. There's really hasn't been much that I couldn't get out with just using this Dawn Power Wash. So I highly recommend getting this. And then you need a soft bristled brush. I just use a kid's toothbrush. So in this step, we're going to take our Dawn Power Wash and we're going to spray the stain. Then we take our soft bristled brush and we work the Dawn into the stain. Make sure you flip over so you can get underneath the rim here. Spit up tends to get stuck in there. I like to do a circular motion to really work the Dawn into the mesh. After you're done scrubbing and working the Dawn into the mesh, let this sit for about 10 to 15 minutes. For this step, I use clips. You can use chip clips, paper clips, anything that we're gonna secure the netting onto this bowl. So I take a bowl of hot water, set it underneath, then I take my stain and I soak it in the bowl. In order for the mesh to stick in, to stay there, I take my clips and I clip it onto the side of the bowl. Once you have it all situated and secure, you're going to let this sit in the hot water for about 15 minutes. One of the biggest problem areas is the rim of the SNOO. The rim gets very dirty because there's lots of hands that come on here. So this is going to be a heavy dirt area. The best way to get these off is, again, to use your Dawn dish soap. And I also use a firmer brush. This is a nail brush. This is also linked into my tools list to scrub the netting, the rim of the netting. So the first step is you take your Dawn dish soap and spray the rim of the SNOO. I then take my hard bristle nail brush and I work the Dawn into the rim. So this step is one of the most important steps into getting all of this dirt off of your SNOO. A lot of people say to use a steam cleaner. I highly recommend not using a steam cleaner because what happens is that steam cleaner, so it takes the dirt and then it just drops it into the netting and you will end up with big rings of dirt on here in the middle of the mesh and then on the end sides of the mesh. What this machine does, this is the little Bissell little green machine. This actually sucks up all of the dirt and pulls it out of the SNOO. I'm gonna take my little green machine and I'm gonna focus on the rim and then the stained area that I did. So you turn it on, you can use the spray, you can use just hot water, or you can use the Bissell carpet cleaner spray that comes in there, whatever you feel comfortable doing. But you did also just spray Dawn, so you do have soap in here that's gonna sterilize and clean the netting. So after you've let your stain sit for about 15 to 20 minutes, we are now going to unclip the clips, remove the water, And we're going to use the little green machine to suck up all of the excess dirt and soap that it was soaking in. So now that we've spot cleaned this area, we will take the cleaner and we will spray the entire netting of the inside of the SNOO to get it clean. To do the outside of the SNOO, we're going to use the same little green machine. But to spray the outside, what I like to do is I take my towel and I take my hand in my towel and I just use it as a barrier. So when I'm spraying, the spray is getting caught into the back of the towel. So this next step is I take my electric duster and I blow all the little pieces that I could not get with the vacuum out of the crevice here. I then take my duster one more time and do a final sweep to get all of those little pieces that I just blew out off of the base. In these final steps, we're going to put the netting back into the base. You want to take this hard plastic piece, line it up behind the sensor clip. Take your wedge tool. Do not use your nails because your nails will split. Take your wedge tool and push the hard plastic piece into the clip. You should hear a click once it's in. The final step is applying the clips back into the base. This part can be tricky and I will go over some troubleshooting tips if you get stuck. The easiest way to do this is this flat piece here goes into this opening on the inner clip. You pop it in. I use my thumbs. I push down on the side closest to the netting first. Once I hear the clip, then I can do the other side as well. One of the parts that you might get stuck on is trying to get these clips back in. And here is the trick. If you're seeing that this opening right here is thin, this clip is not going to clip in there. This opening right here needs to be wide open like this one. The reason that this one is not open is because the hard part of the netting is not pushed all the way in. So you'll have to pull it out, take your wedge tool and push it in a little bit farther and you'll see that little mouth open up. Now your clip will go in smoothly. The other part where you might get stuck on is you'll find that it will go in. The first one will snap, but then this second clip will not snap in. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to take your wedge tool and you're going to go directly into the second hole and push down. And it should pop right into place. If your SNOO has a lot of little pillings, on the netting, that can easily be removed with a fabric shaver. This is a fabric shaver I got off of Amazon. This is in my tool supply list. You can easily click on the link to purchase. All you need to do is turn it on and go over the pilling portions and it shaves it right off. So after you have all your clips in and your SNOO is dried and clean, you're ready to go.